Okay, where do I start? I'm making this video to try to maybe clarify to you what I think are fundamental misunderstandings on your part of what Eckart Tolle tries to explain in his teachings. You start by criticizing him because he only teaches liberation from suffering. like, like that's not enough, you know? You have to have something more. Well, I agree with this. The problem is you make the jump before you're ready to try to liberate other beings from suffering while you're not liberated yet. You take weight on your shoulders that you shouldn't have to deal with yet. There's this quote which I really love, and it states that you have no responsibility to save the world. You only have a responsibility to yourself and to keep clean this little corner of the universe of yours. And doing this, the universe heals itself. So what I feel is a problem here is that you haven't actually tried to integrate Eckart Tolle's teachings into your lifestyle. You haven't lived them. You do understand them quite well, with a few exceptions that your ego doesn't want you to understand. But it's only intellectual. You have not actually tried it to see what it's talking about, because you say that it's only self-interest and enlightenment. Okay, in that case, let's say that Eckart Tolle is actually a self-enlightened, but in a self-interested way, master. Why the fuck would he actually be spending his time, trying to help other people become free from their suffering? The guy is blissful. Okay, so he's gonna just kick it back in a resort, in a luxury resort somewhere, and drink a couple drinks, and enjoy life. The guy is liberated from suffering. Why should he care? Because enlightenment is not what you think it is. Enlightenment, liberation from the self-created suffering of your own mind and from the conceptual violence that you invoke upon existence through your judgment. It's pure bliss, okay? From nearly reaching orgasm just by actually seeing, the flight of a bird or hearing the sound of rain. But it's also pure suffering, because you have this deep fundamental empathy that reaches into the core of your heart when you see other beings suffering, and you feel for them, and you only want to liberate them, which is actually the essence of bodhisattva. It's when an enlightened Buddha decides to stay of this world, that is, to keep aware, to constantly face suffering, because he wants to liberate other beings from it. How is that self-interested? It doesn't work, But your ego doesn't want to see this, okay? You're not ready to start caring about other people yet, because you don't even understand, you don't know yourself yet. But the ego is afraid of being revealed for the facade that it is. So instead of actually making the jump and trying to live this truth, the ego says, this is not the way it should be. I have my solution, and it's this solution. Eckart Tolle should be like this, because this is what I think. Well, this is identification with thought. The only reason you really oppose Eckart Tolle, it seems, is because you have your own idea of what solution is right. What solution is right? your system equal money. Okay, I haven't studied it, okay? I mean, it sounds great just from the name, you know? But thing is, you're trying to solve suffering through a system. What you haven't seen is that all suffering that exists right now is because of the system. Actually, you state this in the video, but you state that current suffering comes from, you know, the industrial economical system that we live in. Um, I nearly agree. You've just not made the next jump. What creates the system? The system actually arises out of ego, out of the wish to control, out of the wish to judge, to be right, because of identification with thought. You say, well, I have the solution, it's this system. Okay, your system might be awesome and everything, but let's just entertain this idea. What if I don't want to be your system? What are you gonna do? Impose it on me? Yeah, right. So the solution is to go beyond systems. You know, I would be actually, well, I would not be insulted, but I would think it's funny, you know, that you believe I should actually act according to your system for me to be right, you know? What if I believe that love doesn't need a system? That just by being loving, the universe heals itself? Why should I subscribe to your ideas? Why should I subscribe to the view that you believe is true, such as this equal money system? I don't need this to be loving and to be sharing and to be caring about other people. You know, the proof being, I didn't need to make this video. I could just sit on my ass and, you know, do whatever the fuck I want and be blissful. But when I was listening to you, I could feel how close you were to understanding his points. But just being stopped, you know, always saying, "Oh, I agree with him, but he should be helping poor kids in the street first." Well, look at it this way: he's spreading enlightenment. He's spreading an existence style that is beyond ego. And once you have this, you start helping other people. And your awareness, which develops by itself, actually keeps you from doing all of this egoist shit, all of this violence that you, and just even imposing a system on other people is violence, by the way. So once you're in consciousness, you stop doing this, and then you stop not only creating suffering for yourself, but you stop creating suffering for others. And this is when the utopia starts, not by some abstract system that people have to subscribe to. Okay? So I just want to really recommend you actually integrate this truth in your life and actually try to live it. And you will see how deep it reaches. And you will actually feel the truth of your deeper being, and you will also understand how spontaneously you want to help other people. The solution is not judging and saying, Eckart Tolle, your philosophy is wrong, you need to be doing this. The guy is helping how he can. Okay? So just follow your own path, let him follow his, and the universe heals itself.